In retrospect, it was inevitable. Elon Musk and Tesla buy Bitcoin. That's crazy. Just last month, I was on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast where I literally said this.
I think this year, probably this year, I could see someone like Elon Musk or Tesla being like, hey guys, by the way, I put like 5% of Tesla's cash reserves into Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
Once that happens, it's gonna be like a domino effect of like all these
Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Actually, I was wrong. I said 5% that it would convert, but in reality, $1.5 billion, which is what Elon spent, is actually 15% of Tesla's cash. So I was a little bit wrong, and they actually put in more money than I thought they would. And this is huge because he's also said that Tesla's gonna start accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, which means that I could finally buy myself a Tesla and sell off some of my Bitcoin at some point. Because this is huge. And not just because Elon bought some, I mean, that's cool, but the biggest reason this is a huge bull signal is because it's gonna signal to all the other CEOs on Wall Street, wait a minute, if Elon can do this, then from a regulatory standpoint, there must be something to this. I want to get in on this too because I don't want to get left behind. So as far as like what's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin, I think it's going to continue to skyrocket at least over the next day or two as people wake up and realize the news and what's going on. They can be like, oh my God, I need to buy Bitcoin. Yes, that's going to happen. And I'm sure we're going to go through peaks and valleys and we're going to, pull back at some point. But price aside, there's a few reasons why all of this is super interesting. So one of the things this means is Tesla's stock price is going to continue to skyrocket just like it has. And it's already up over 2%, which interestingly is like $15 billion in terms of a market capitalization, which means that his $1.5 billion purchase actually has already been returned to him in the form of value by literally 10 times more than what he spent on Bitcoin, because that's, again, a $15 billion increase to Tesla's valuation. So it's interesting because I never actually bought into Tesla stock because I always felt like I missed out on it, but the truth is, it probably has a long way to go. So instead, I've been converting most of my cash into Bitcoin because I knew, well, I didn't know, but I suspected highly that something like this could happen. And I knew that at the time when I was buying Bitcoin, that it still had a long way to go. And it still has a long way to go. Also, interestingly, this is something Anthony Pompliano pointed out in his newsletter this morning, is that Elon and Tesla's whole ethos for basically existing is to help humanity move forward in a way that's sustainable and to create a sustainable green world. And there's just no way that Elon and Tesla would start basically accepting Bitcoin and supporting Bitcoin unless he thought that it was sustainable in some way or could be sustainable in the future. And one of the biggest criticisms of Bitcoin right now is that there's a lot of wasteful mining, right? It's this proof of work concept is just wasteful energy. But I think the people that criticize Bitcoin aren't necessarily the people that are also keeping up with the technology and what's going on, because interestingly, most of Bitcoin's energy actually comes from renewable sources. But again, most critics probably don't know that because they're not reading up on the technology every day. So again, I just don't think that Elon would ever start supporting Bitcoin unless he knew that it was probably more sustainable than not. And the second reason that it's important is because this domino effect is about to become very real. So I don't really know what the official word for this is, but I'm just gonna call it the domino effect. But essentially what I mean is we're gonna have a lot of these Fortune 500 CEOs follow in Elon's footsteps. And that's not because Elon is a cool kid and everybody wants to be just like him and he's a renegade, but because all of them are faced with an identical problem that I've been talking about on my channel for a very long time, which is the Federal Reserve's printing press, right? And one of the most basic pieces of financial advice that you'll ever hear on the internet, and something that I say a lot, is to have most of your cash be invested and working for you. Otherwise, you're gonna start to lose that purchasing power, right? And that's very obvious, but as individuals, we get to save, maybe tens of thousands, maybe for the lucky few of us, hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of our lifetime. But imagine being a corporation where you have billions of dollars, where losing 1 or 2% of purchasing power becomes a very real problem, because that represents tens of millions of dollars of purchasing power per year. So that very real problem needs a very real solution. And Elon seems to think that one of those solutions is Bitcoin, and I happen to agree with him, which is why I've been converting much of my cash reserves into Bitcoin as early as 2014. Another reason why this is huge is because of hedge funds. So imagine this scenario, right? You're a hedge fund manager and you've got tens of billions of dollars in control of other people's money that you're investing for them. And let's say in 2021, you made some good decisions and your portfolio is up by 10%. Imagine being that person and then having to answer to their investors why you only grew by 10% and why someone like Cathie Wood grew by 200%. It's almost like you can't do that. So in a way, it forces the hands of these hedge fund managers to have some of their capital be exposed to something like Bitcoin. So just for the liability aspect, you can say, hey guys, I was smart. I knew it all along. Don't worry, I got you. You're exposed to Bitcoin. We've got 1% coverage. So this is a huge deal, and I think this is really gonna help Bitcoin. And I honestly don't think that it took a genius to see. All it took was smashing the like button, subscribing to my channel, and just watching. That's all it took. Now I'm gonna buy myself a Tesla. I don't know. Maybe the Model S, maybe the Model Y. I don't know. Let me know. In the meantime, go get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin using this BlockFi code right here. Don't forget to get 2 free stocks with Webull by depositing $100. One of those stocks could be worth up to $1,600. And go to my Patreon and check out my spreadsheet where you can track those stocks. Love you guys. Crazy day. How exciting. I will see you back here on Monday and Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. And also I'm going to be dropping a video later today where I actually got to talk to Vlad Tenev, the CEO of Robinhood, and I'm super excited to show you that video. So that's going to be later today. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.